And for more on this, I'm joined by Afra Zhao Wang in Mountain View, California. She is the host of Loud Murmurs, a Chinese language podcast on American pop culture. So how much is Western style entertainment growing inside China? Not just movies, but shows, music, concerts like Cirque du Soleil.
Well, I think, in terms of Western culture, this is a very broad kind of definition, but let's narrow down to, circus performance. There are many more this kind of once in a lifetime, immense experience kind of live performance are coming in China, such as, famous Burning Man. There's a Chinese version of Burning Man. Burning Man in the U.S. as this counterculture kind of festival with a lot of installation arts, with a lot of visual experience. It also has a version in China, meaning that Chinese people are more and more accepting this kind of live performance or this kind of spectacular experiences. And then also there's Chinese EDM and Chinese Ultra Music Festival, which are all different versions of this kind of live performance that's been imported into China. So this time, this is the Cirque du Soleil. This is another famous Western performing group was invited to Hangzhou, one of top tourist destination in China. So as far as I can tell, people's appetite and people's growing craving to this new kind of form of performance is there. The need is definitely there.
And is this everybody across China of all ages, or are you finding it's mostly younger adults?
This is a really, really good question. So let's say why Cirque du Soleil chose Hangzhou as the first Chinese city it has, the debut show. There are multiple reasons. First, as I just mentioned, Hangzhou is a top tourist destination, last year it accepted 180 million of tourists to visit Hangzhou. Most of them are domestic visitors. And it is, the city is the birthplace of Alibaba, one of the leading Chinese tech company in Hangzhou. And something I really have to mention is Hangzhou, along with Shenzhen, Shanghai, and China, has already have GDP per capita of 20K US dollars per person, meaning that Hangzhou in general, each person have a lot of dispensable income. They're getting into this consuming upgrade. They're ready to spend their money on on all kinds of entertainments, like Disneyland, like the circus show, like in all kinds of food, in this consuming things. This is there's something on the internet called, Daka, which is something you must visit, something you must experience. And a lot of people, especially young people, they would like to, watch the show and post on their social media. This is some demonstration of one's, taste, of one's social status. So, a ticket to Cirque du Soleil is something more than just watching a spectacular show. It's, it's a lot more, meaning behind the consuming upgradation, the young people's taste.
It's sort of showing status. So definitely the bigger cities with younger audiences. How are entertainment companies marketing toward Chinese audiences, and what do you think they need to know about Chinese tastes?
Well, talking about Chinese taste, I would like to mention about the grand anniversary celebration of the founding of the 70th anniversary of People's Republic of China. So the past event, we can observe something of people's taste. Why people love the night performance so well? Why people love the firework made by Cai Guochang so well? Because it celebrates kind of this affluence, this optimism. So if there's one trend I can predict is people are going to love things that are first apolitical, and the second just really like celebrating the lives people are having right now, the happiness, the life people are enjoying right now.
All right. Any other advice that you would have for companies of how they can get through and be successful in China and bringing Western shows there?
Yeah, this is a really good question. So, just, seeing a lot of great Chinese artists, just be aware of the fierce competition in China. For example, Zhang Yimou, the director of the 2008 Olympic grand opening, also directed a very similar kind of show in Hangzhou where, Cirque du Soleil will be performing, which called Impression West Lake. This is a show also brings people, spectacular visual experience where the setting is in West Lake. The fairy tale is about the ancient Hangzhou history. It's about Asian Chinese culture. So, for Western or for people who wants to have a slice of cake of the Chinese market, maybe just be aware of, how to really localize or how to really compete with the local Chinese artists who are also, world-class filmmakers and the event planners and, performers.
That is a tough job. Afra Zhao Wang, thank you so much for joining us from California.